Yep, choppy choppy, make trees into logs so we can make more goodies for our people. Hello everybody, this is Frogman. Welcome back to Captain of Industry. Last time we did a decent amount of work. Go ahead, hit the pause button so that things don't go too far. We've started our research, or at least all of the free research that we're working on, and we have accumulated up to, well, all of the first row, the second row, the third row. We're into the fourth now, doing basic concrete, basic diesel, and I believe beacons. I forget which one I click next. We're going to let them all kind of catch up, and then we're going to get into some of this other fun stuff that's going on. So, again, pick the stuff that you want to pick. This is a super chill, kind of super relaxing kind of way to play this kind of thing. The pain, trust me, will come as we play this. The pain will definitely come, because once they turn us loose from all of this simple, easy science, we'll start to see little issues. So the other thing that I am going to mention at this point too is we are going to attempt, again, to try to spread out as much as possible, given the fact that we're going to have trains to play with. And this will be my first time in experimenting with them. I have not touched them yet, and I'm going to intentionally not touch them. So hopefully we don't end up with a nasty, silly mess. But anyhow, go ahead, unpause. We got a few things we got to do. We left off with construction parts. So the first thing it wants us to do is build an assembly. I'm going to use this surface area out here for right now, probably, given what's going on, as our main, essentially I think what we're probably going to do, can I do anything such as still, we're going to try to probably, well, you can select things, right? Oh, I don't want to use that one. No, we're going to probably use like right out here and probably right here, this more or less this whole area out here, because we've got plenty of surface area to do a decent amount of automation early. So a lot of the early stuff that we're going to try to do in here, we're going to do, basically what I want to do is I want to get a bunch of stuff built so that we can actually think about moving through the rest of this. And all these poor trees are fixing to end it, so we're going to have a lot of fun. And of course, oil is going to be taken care of once we get to oil. All right, so we need to build an assembly or two or three. So assemblies are going to be built under production. Assembly, we have a kiln, we have an assembly, and we have a maintenance depot. Ah, yes, the maintenance depot. We're going to wait till they tell us to build the maintenance depot. So our first assembly is going to go probably about right. I want to try to leave a little bit of space in between here and there. So let's say we'll set it right on the edge of that line right there, pointed that direction. And since we're in planning mode, nothing should build anyway. So then we jump in here. We're going to go ahead and set recipes. You want me to build probably, I don't know, we're going to find out. Let's take it off planning mode. Go ahead and go. Once that gets built, again, I'm going to leave it on slow-mo for now, just because it's kind of fun to play it early without having any problems. How are we doing? We have 80 months of food. You have produced, how much potatoes have we produced? We produced at max 42, 40 something. So those numbers will change based on how the rain has fallen and whatnot, and certain other things. I believe we've got an upgrade that's going to be coming fairly soon. All right, so then you want me to set up the assembly to produce construction parts. I could have guessed. So then we'll collect that, or select that, click go, and then the trucks will go fill it with some iron, wood, and some concrete slabs, which we should all have in here, at least mostly. And I guess since we're there and we do have the assemblies, oh, good, we have the loose storage finally. Good. Unit storage, I want you to go right here on the end of this. And this is the beginnings of, well, things get a little silly. We don't currently have belts, and we won't have belt access for a little while. So the first thing I'm going to do, well, like I said, we're going to be just sticking things on the, well, I guess we're going to deliver it, but that's fine. Pause it, that's fine. You get into a habit of accidentally clicking that button when you get into late game, because you usually have so much unity you can just automatically deliver things. We are going to go ahead and set this to what we want it to be, which is construction parts, which should mean they should take what's left of the construction parts out of here and put them in there. All right, so construction parts, collect reward. Sure, we'll take those. That's beautiful. All right, now we're going to look at research maintenance. Maintenance has been researched. Build maintenance depot basic and build another assembly to produce mechanical parts. So we will build another assembly first to produce mechanical parts. I'm just going to stick everything kind of close together while we're using this as our storage. And hopefully that'll help out a little bit. Go ahead, do another unit storage here. You're going to be mechanical parts, which should be this, go. And you're going to be mechanical parts, which should be this, go, close. All right, we got our bacon. Nice. Bacon's in now. That's something else we're going to need to deal with. And no research. The reason why I say all of these are very simple and easy to get done is to just do them. Just do them because these are all free research. So just line them up and get them over with. I think next we're going to do... So we do have basic diesel ready to go. I want to do captain's office next, which will allow us to do some fun stuff. Terrain leveling, which is a very handy tool. Of course, blueprints. And then we're just going to start down from the top. Copper refinement, synthetic rubber, ramp for vehicles, even though they're really not necessary. Ship dock repair, and then construction. That one, sure, we'll just go to that line and get all those done. As these peel through, it's fine. So the ship dock repair is basically exactly what it says. We're just going to fix the ship and get it ready to go. Copper refinement's going to give us the process for copper. This is going to give us the process to do it. They're pretty self-explanatory. This one, maybe not so much as far as terrain leveling. When that's opened up and ready to go, we'll talk about it. We should actually have access to something that we're going to want here in a little bit as well, which is a loose storage, which is fantastic. If I want to right now, I can like plug this in to that and be able to use this for coal. I may. It's kind of the problem is here. You can definitely go ahead and set some things up. Like if we wanted to, we could put wood into our coal maker. So I could take a unit storage and drop it here. Actually, that is the other thing I need to get done. Bring. Where are we? I want to have a major main construction system, so for right now, I think we'll put that right there. Construction storage area. You're going to be specifically wood, so we can get more wood moving. But we could stick like one on the back of that and have it go. This is going to go away very, very soon. As soon as we can start harvesting this coal patch, then we won't need that coal maker anymore. But I think we're doing good here. We're waiting mainly on what's going to be after that particular construction, because that's our first conveyor belts, which we got a little while to go before that. Anyhow, we should be making this. You want me to build a maintenance area maintenance yard. Maintenance area maintenance yard. Let's do maintenance right here for right now. Maintenance should be where? Oh, well, we have this new function down here. Maintenance. Maintenance depot basic. I want you to just sit right on a square with these guys, I guess. Yeah. That's not where I wanted that. There. That's where I want that. Good enough. All right. That's going to get built, and then that will provide us with the stuff that we need, because vehicles need maintenance. They're not using it right now, but they will as soon as we turn it on. Again, it's kind of those things that go on. They've had some updates and some upgrades for the way the maintenance works, so and because we're playing realism, we're going to have to be kind of careful. The maintenance is definitely a, we'll just call this a resource sink, and it does kind of make sense that you're going to want maintenance. Vehicles, on the other hand, I think we probably should plop those down. Not logistics, vehicles, depot. Let's build you guys. We're already kind of screwing up. I'd like it right here where this is, but we haven't managed to use this up. We can always move it. Just put it, we'll put it out here out of the way for right now. Go. What did we get for maintenance? So we got a new reward. We got some electronics and more, or building goodies. Iron ore mining, we'll have to deal with this as it goes. Population growth. You want me to build a beacon and build existing housing attached to the settlement. We're good, I think, on that part. But we do probably need to be looking at getting some more people. So people. Housing and services, beacon. What a beacon does, and we'll put it right over here out of the way, is it helps attract people to our settlement. And this is going to be the first, I think, major use of Unity that we're going to see happen in here. So because Unity, which we haven't spoken about, this is a very important thing because it allows you to do certain things. It's a kind of currency, it's a kind of resource, and we were speaking about like air pollution last time. As we're popping this open, as this beacon gets built, we're going to notice that we are now going to have some problems. So as with the Unity goes, our production for Unity, we have what we're producing currently base, which is 10 total, plus our health, which our health is going to give us a 0.04 extra, plus the fact that we're feeding them food and their health is okay. We're making a total amount max over here of what is it, 1.5. We'll just say 1.5 we're making on this end of it. We're having a subtraction of 1.48, so we're just barely making some Unity at this point. Reason why this is important is because, well, notice here, we can knock some of that Unity usage down by removing or shutting down one of the research labs, or two of them for that matter. And that beacon by itself is making them, for whatever reason, unhappy. Apparently these are some very, I don't know, very, very greedy people. They don't want extra people to come help with their, their production facilities. So as we can see right now, we're actually minus, we're under what's going on because of the fact we're seeing a total loss of 0.2 as far as the Unity is concerned. What happens when the Unity goes away? Well, you just can't do anything with the Unity, at least for the most part. We're fine, and we're going to kind of let it creep down for a little bit, but one of the best ways to wager that is to do this and just kind of make sure we have some fun stuff. The other thing we can do about Unity is we can build a captain's office. So the captain's office, I'm going to put it right next to our, go away bacon. We're going to put the captain's office right next to our labs. That's definitely going to be something we need to build. And as soon as this gets there, we'll have a bunch more people come in. All right, we should be good there. I'm waiting on this to come in. We're building food. We should be building various other parts pieces. I'm just going to watch and make sure that doesn't get too crazy. All right, we can now start building some stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and queue up 2 of those and 4 trucks, and they're going to go ahead and fill those up. We're going to start not with the iron, but with that coal, because that coal will help us to stop eating up our current resources of trees. But let's go over here and see how the office is doing. Come on. There we go. Captain's office. Captain's office is going to help us do a little bit of stuff. As we notice with our Unity, it is slowly going down. We currently have what I would consider plenty of food. So for a +1 Unity, we can increase that by 20% for now and gain an extra Unity per month. We also have industrial edicts in here where if we want to, we can turn down, I'm going to have to shut that off in a minute. We can turn down the fuel usage as well as the maintenance, but it will cost us Unity. So this is where I'm saying that Unity is a kind of an interesting currency that you get to play with. In the next month, they're going to get extra food, which is going to up this number, which is going to make people happier. For now, hopefully. Which means we should be able to run all 3 labs and that at the same time. Now, the other thing we can do is for X amount of Unity, we can go out here to the world and speak with our neighbors. We can adopt 10 people. So we're going to do that right now. This takes time to refresh, but it will come back as we need to go. Not really worried about it. So I guess while we're in here, if you end up stuck, and this is one of those kinds of things, if you end up stuck, you can purchase various items for various other items, or you can do loans if you want to based off of an interest rate or whatever. We're going to try really hard not to do loans. Contracts will be something that will come on later on, but I'm going to try really, really, really hard to not borrow anything. But if you need to, you can. So, how are we doing over here? We need to go and get The iron recipe, I'm going to wait on this. As far as harvesting the iron right here, I'm going to wait on that for a little while. We do have access to some new stuff, so we now have rainwater collection, which is fine. We're going to see if we can get away with not using that thing. And we do have the oil production, which, how much fuel do we have? All right, we're okay for right now. Trash collection, which is more things that we have. And we do finally have a fuel storage. Beautiful. I'm going to leave you out of the mess for right now. Loose storage is cool. As soon as these guys get built, all right, we have one ready to go there. Let's go immediately start working on this thing. So, this is going to be terraforming. So in terraforming, we're going to have lots of new stuff now. So we have mining designations, which are going to allow us to figure out what we want to mine. Dumping designations, which we've already seen over here. Mine control towers and ore sorting plants. First thing I want to do is I want to put a mine control tower probably right about there. And the reason why I want one of those here is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure, I guess I probably about got it all. We're going to edit the area. We're going to grab a rectangular thingy, and I'm just going to draw this for now. Reason why I'm doing this is mining control towers can also control what you dump in the areas. I do not want to dump dirt, gravel, or slag, any of that stuff here. I do want to be able to be notified when I'm dumping waste. This is our temporary landfill. And by temporary, I mean it's temporary. We're not going to be doing this for very long. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. The reason why I say that is we're also going to be building a dumping zone for various materials like gravel, dirt, whatnot, in other areas around the map. Probably, well, I don't want them to have to go too far, but I think probably what we'll do is we'll start extending this corner out. So I'm going to put another one of these down over here. Say right there, that looks pretty good. And your zone is going to be edited to, and you can drag these out like this if you want. I'm not a huge fan of how this works, but it does work kind of. We're going to do something about like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a leveling slash, we're going to have some fun with it for right now. For right now, all I'm going to do with that one particular designation that we got is leveling. So we're going to probably from about right here, make sure it's flat. And I'm going to draw that out to about there and there. And then we're going to do this from here to about right there for now. And that's some of that's going to be outside of the area. That's fine. I don't really care. Actually, we can just go ahead and get rid of that much right there. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our waste rock, all of our waste whatever, dirt, however, and we're just going to dump it in the ocean over here for right now once this gets ready to go. I guess the next thing we do need to do is we need to build us an ore sorting facility, which this is where stuff starts to get really complicated and large. I suppose we could build it over here in this area. Let's put it right there. And finally, a mining control tower. And I know this is bad because that means I'm going to then have to drag dirt, rock, and all that stuff all the way the heck back over there. I get it. I understand. We'll start like so. We're going to build another one of those right here. Your area is going to be edit, turn on things so we can see all the coal. You're going to be all of that coal. So just like that. Most of it. Try that again. You didn't get it all. There. That works. All right. Cool. And as soon as those are all built, we'll assign the excavator and 2 trucks over to there. And as the excavators come in, we're going to do that. Once this is built, then what's going to happen is we're going to sort coal. We're going to sort iron ore. We're going to sort rock. And we're going to sort dirt for now. I think I can even sort more products, really. Huh. Now, this is a new building that I have not got to use yet. I'm looking forward to seeing how much of a pain it's going to be. And we're probably going to want to start doing priorities on these. You can be like 12, you're done, I need you done. I need you to be, yeah, you're 8, that's fine. So as soon as this one gets built over here, we're going to assign one of those and 2 of those over there. And in this level here, we're not going to be dumping anything at all. We're going to be digging over there. So as soon as we get that built, then we'll start digging. Cool. So I have pickups, mine controls, housing, mine control, not mine, mine. And of course we have something mad. We have no mining designation in the area. I know, but you haven't built it yet either, so we're not worried about it. But this is where it kind of starts to get a little bit slow because we're now waiting on this problem. So we're going to be working through those pretty quickly. How much do we have? 92 of those plus what's in here. So we still have a bunch of iron to cook and a bunch of the bricks to cook, so we should be fine. My goal for right now is to get that coal producer to not be eating coal. And we are currently working on copper refinement, and almost all of this stuff is done. All right, so as I stated, we're now into the couple of the next kind of fun things with Captain's Office because we got terrain leveling, as I showed. That function of what we did over here is a function of terrain leveling. You can't do that with the mining designation. It won't fill the hole in. You have to do dumping. Well, the interesting thing about the difference between the two of them is if you mix mining and dumping together, you get terrain leveling. I can assign an excavator over here and a truck, and they will level the mountains in the area, which is going to be part of the goal once we get there. Are we built? No. How much do we need? 20. We don't have 20 yet, so we're waiting on that to get built. So I'm going to do science and enjoy things. Oh, I need to probably shut off our beacon for a little bit. We have 33 extra people plus housing. You do have to pay attention to this because of the fact that it will end up biting you in the tail if you're not making enough food. You guys are done cutting all the trees almost? Let's see how our trees are doing. Trees, forestry, you guys still have all those to cut down. And then we're going to have them, I guess, start working on the section right here. All of this is going to go away before too long. I just need some workable surface area. All right, we'll let that roll a little bit, and I guess I'll be back with you guys in a little bit. Alrighty then, ore sorting is done. We've got this one built. I don't know why we're over here, so we do have at least one. So we got 2 new trucks and an excavator ready to go. So let's go over here to where the coal facility is. Oh, we do have an excavator. Beautiful. So we're going to start with just a single machine over here because, and this is the thing where I highly suggest when you're doing, when you're building out new areas to go mining, the structure is an interesting way of, they have an interesting way of presenting what you're actually getting. So the height of the pillar is how much or how many levels or layers, as you can see. So like we have all these layers in the wall that are going to be coal. So at this point up here, I mean, I'm not going to try to count it, but that's how many layers you're going to have available. And as we can see, the coal is actually on top of the ground. So like that's what this symbolizes, this pillar, is that the coal is on top of the ground, readily reachable without any dirt in the way. Now, if you go to something like, say, this one right here, there's not a lot of coal at the bottom of that hole once you get there, and there's an awful lot of, well, rock and dirt and gravel on top of it. It's the same thing over here in this corner where, like this one, there is not a whole lot of coal underneath of those things. There's not a whole lot of coal underneath of those. When you're playing these games or when you're playing this trying to figure this out, for that matter, if we look at right here, the coal is actually on top of the ground, but there's like a little surface area that's just kind of popped up over it. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to dig just almost straight into that mountain from where we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of using the mining, I'm going to use the leveling, because I want to level this area out mainly before we get too excited about it. So you guys are going to go make sure you're on flat, and we're just going to do this right now, and then I'm going to go in about right here, and you're just going to level it to like right there. That's going to be the mine. Essentially, that's what we're going to do. We'll expand it from there, but for right now, that's what I want them to do. Then they're going to go to work, and they're going to make a nice little smooth area based out of some dirt here, which is fine. It's going to take him a while because he's a little bitty excavator, and I might go ahead and just send the other one over here, just so we have plenty of trucks and plenty of things to dig. This is going to take a couple of minutes, but it will at least make it nice in the end when we're trying to get a few things done. They're going to dig up some coal once we get a little bit of coal going, which I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't snap. Oh, we should have coal. Okay, good. We're good, good, good. And we're just going to let them work. The next step we're going to do over here, how many vehicle parts do we have? We have 70. Can I make, forget what this costs. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to start working on digging some iron up, which I might actually just assign them to this and have them level all of this out before we do anything else. We have plenty of iron. Well, we don't have plenty of iron. We're getting there. But yeah, we're going, construction's going 2, construction 2. With our science, we should be vehicle ramp, not worried. Shipyard, not worried. And yeah, we need to get the oil going. We're going to need some more, we're going to need some serious more construction parts, but we're good to go there. So yeah, we're just going to kind of let things roll, run, as you guys find things. Oh, looks like, say, he's got some coal in him. And when we get to that point, what we're going to do probably over here is they're going to tell us what the outputs are. So coal, iron, rock, dirt. Essentially what's probably going to happen is the iron and the rock and the rock and the dirt are going to get shunted out to the side over here, and that's going to be given to this to dump over here, hopefully, once they get a few things done. But we're working on digging stuff. I realize this is going to take a minute. I just want this nice and level before they start digging into that mountain. All right, there goes our first truck hauling stuff back. Now, which is the button? I forget. Is it this one? Yes. Go. We're going to ride him all the way back. And like I said, this is the first time I get to use the ore sorting facility. I have no idea what that's going to be like. I'm assuming it's going to drive all the way back over there. Like, I probably should put the ore... I will eventually put one over here, so we can already see the distance at which we're going to be traveling with things. Like, it's got to go quite a long ways to get it over here. So, yeah, that's a bad spot. We'll probably put one of those right here, and then we'll probably put one in front of every single one of our mines so that we can sort the stuff as it comes out. But for now, well, you know, we've got trucks they can drive all the way over here. And it mostly has, it has a reasonable amount of coal and a reasonable amount of dirt. And that tree's sticking up way over there. That's a big tree. All right. So you're going to deliver to the facility. Oop, don't pause. That dumps in there. This is going to process a small amount of coal and a small amount of dirt. Nice. So first thing I'm going to do then is stop delivery to here. This is how we can do this. We're going to do not import cargo. I don't want you burning any more wood, and you'll only be able to export once this is done. How are we doing over here? So we have a little bit of this left. That means we need to get these going almost immediately. Did I build this smart enough that I can actually do that? I think actually we can. Let's expand this into the iron section, which I can do. Edit area. I'm going to grab this just a little bit. We're going to change the size of this just a little. I mean, I guess we can make another one. How much is it? Yeah, we can just make another one. Hold on. We'll just make another one of these. I don't want your ramp for right now. Ramps are fine. Can you... Oh, yeah, they gave us all the ramps, didn't they? New functionality is that they have treed nested, I guess they call them nested things that I'm still not quite used to, but they do work kind of okay. I want to do, what is it? This, terraforming. We're just going to go ahead and make another mind control tower. I was going to say I wasn't. I'm going to just use one of these other ones. You go right there. You do, that actually looks just fine. And I'm going to assign one of those to there, two of those there. And then we're just going to do the same thing. Just level ground into that mountain for now. That's good enough. We'll adjust this as it goes. And as soon as they get that built, then we'll be able to do some things here. So that should be construction 2. This should be the last. I forget now. Is that going to be the last thing we can do? What is that going to take? We should be able to get to belts by next time, I think. As soon as this gets over with, I'm going to go ahead and add that to queue so that we can get to belts, so that we can start doing things with that, and that'd make it belts and whatnot, so that we can make these look a little bit nicer, these little processes that we have. How much coal do we have now? 37. Beautiful. Should not have built that thing all the way over there. How much do those cost to make? 80. We got a ways to go. I will make another one of these over here, and then we'll do some sorting between there. New goal, stockpile products. I don't need to stockpile anything. We're doing fine. Let's go. All right, so now we're going to be digging iron. And I don't want you... You don't need to be dumping anything either here. So, boop. I mean, in reality, what I could have done is I could have used this one and had it come over here and cover that, but it's fine. This is a temporary situation. It will go away sooner rather than later. All right. So, if I have you, you should pick up dirt. Okay, good. So that's what I was wondering, was whether or not that was going to automatically pull out of here. So part of the terrain leveling thing is the fact that we will be taking the dirt and the rock and dumping it here. So they'll automatically pull it from there and put it into there. Cool. Construction 2. Beautiful. That's lovely. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Probably should get on to making that almost immediately, shouldn't we? Which is going to require a little bit of rejigging. We're fine. But I'm not really going to do that right now. Construction 2 is going to be construction parts 1 plus some electronics. We're not going to worry about those right now. We're just going to try to gather up some resources and get a few things going. All right, what do we have up here as far as dinging? All right, collect our rewards. I knew I was getting behind on some things. Let's go ahead and collect that. And then they're going to want us to build construction parts 1 of 2. I guess we can just do this for right now. I'm going to grab you and set you down. You can build another one, but you're going to be paused so that you can't do anything. And then you want me to initiate the next recipe. One of the interesting things about these is they can nest recipes inside them. So if I wanted to do both of these at the same time, we can. Now, in doing so, when we turn on regular iron ore, this is going to give us slag. Now we're going to use slag as landfill. To be fair, I think I'm going to send you there with a truck. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do with this one particular excavator for right now, once it gets this area kind of sort of leveled out and settled, it's going to then go work over in this iron pile. Now, we're not going to need a massive amount of iron for a time, so we're just going to let them process the iron. We need to build some stuff, stockpile products. Thank you very much. So we're just processing the stuff. But yeah, we're going to let this guy kind of just clean up this area, so it'll pop a rock. That rock's probably going to be limestone, right? No, it's just going to be gravel. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, seems to be working. Cool. So then that'll just haul the dirt out of there. I wonder if I can configure this so that like if I would to select on the outsides, like say dirt, or not that, if I were to reselect the way this works, let's mess with this a second. I want to see something, because if I could put a storage right here and a storage right here for both the coal and the iron. So, hang on. Pause the game. Delete this product. Delete that product. Delete this product. If I add rock, dirt, iron, does it change the outputs? It does. Amazing. Amazing. Cool. That means I can do a loose storage here and a loose storage there, and then we won't have to be worried about the internal structures of that thing. Cool. And then the trucks will just haul whatever comes out of here. That's fine, since we don't have conveyor belts. I just don't want this to be backed up. Okay, what I'm going to do for right now, I think, given the end is where we're looking at some stuff, I'm going to let these guys work a little bit, dig us up some goodies, and we'll go from there. I think the next, actually, we're going to have to get there. We're going to build up a little bit of the construction parts really quickly, and then we need to get on oil. We'll use that to end this episode. So let's do a little bit of resource gathering, and then go from there. I think, actually, we probably we can go ahead and get after that right now. I know I'm kind of doing things. We're getting close to the end of the episode. Let's knock out oil real fast, because I don't want to, if I wanted to sit down and just let this run for a little while and pick up some parts, I don't want to not have the one thing we're going to need, which is going to be lots of fuel. So let's see. Crude oil refining. This early game stuff is very, very simple, very, very easy. Your basic distiller just basically takes oil and turns it into, fuel at this point. Fuel and other things. So I want you to... How do we want to do this? I think I'm going to just take a basic refiner about right here. Okay, now that we know what we're looking at, I'm going to put a fuel storage about right here. There. I'm going to place a basic distiller in line kind of about right there. Okay, and then we're going to take two, let me see, I forget. This can do 60 oil in. The oil pumps can do 20, so that can support 3 of them. We'll just do these kind of nested nicely. We're trying to be cheap on the parts, so I'm going to do this. This. No. Copy. Rotate. R. Rotate. Flip. There. And then we'll grab us a little bit of, we can shut this off since it's annoying. We can grab us some pipe. Go from there to there, here, to there, here, there. We're going to grab another one of these tanks and place it right here so that this can go to our wastewater. And then I need another Shamoka stack, which will go that direction. This is going to be fuel. Go ahead and get it. That's fine. And then I'm going to make it so that they can't... Well, we're going to let them import everything. Then what we're going to do as well, since I built this over where I planned on it, we're going to go ahead and connect you to that tank. This will be wastewater that we are going to tell these trucks to keep empty. And there's one more thing we need to do, which is going to be a liquid pump, which I'm going to put probably, well, we don't want them to be driving forever, so we'll just put it right there for now with wastewater set. And then we'll let them build all of that, and then we'll end this one. Hey, conveyor belts, beautiful. Population growth, processing ore, that will get us some more fuel and some construction. Building, housing, attachment to the existing thing. I do need to probably craft about, well, they're making 2 right now. We're waiting on Those. I thought I was making those. 60. Come on. Price priority on this, please. Biggest problem early game was that the excavators have to come all the way back to a fuel source to be able to fuel themselves. And like I said right here, as a priority, now that we have this one built, this needs to take priority over everything so that that pipe can get to here. This needs to take priority over everything so that pipe can get right there. This needs to take priority over everything so that can get pipe right there. And so can this. These other two pump jacks do not need to get built right now. They're going to build them. But this is where I could say you can change your priority because this is making things. This is working and the trucks can deliver stuff to it. Oh, that's the other thing we need. Where do we put in coal? Crap. Well, they're going to be delivering coal to that then. That's great. For now, till we get the next step. This is where the line gets you. You can do a couple of silly little things like that. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and finish that out. I'm gonna kick the game up and let it just build stuff for a little while. Research. Keep your research going. This doesn't take any research, so advanced concrete, go ahead. Fuel station, go ahead. Groundwater pump, go ahead. Conveyor belts, yes. Logistics control, yes. Settlement water, I don't want to do that right now. This. Irrigated farm, sure, go ahead. I know it looks like I'm just clicking on a lot of things. A lot of this stuff is just kind of common sense. Knock all of this stuff out. There, we finally have something producing a little bit of a fuel for us. This is going to need some more, it's going to need some more work regardless, but as the way that it works, as this completes out, we'll be fine. There, you'll get the next pump jack. Word on various things again, too. Pipes have throughput limits as well as how much, speed versus tiles. So early stuff, you want to try to make sure that your connections are fairly short so that stuff happens relatively quickly. That's one of those kind of tongue twisters. It's kind of hard to say. Anyhow, we're into oil finally. Got a little bit of stuff going on here. I know it's not quite complete. It'll be complete shortly. Essentially what we're doing with the waste oil or the wastewater once it's produced is you guys should be hauling this. Can export, go, please. And can import, go. I just want to make sure they can import and export stuff. So that way they can grab the wastewater out of here. Well, then we might be about done. 1 second. Is that all we needed? All right, oil is done. Now, so what that's going to do, this wastewater is going to be dumped into this tank. I'm going to set this so that they're going to be able to do whatever. This wastewater tank will be allowed to export from here over to that location once it gets built. But for right now, we're not worrying about it. Do I have a goal on any of this? No, not right now. Should have. All right, but at least now we have automated fuel production and automated fuel into the generator production. If we need to build another generator, we can just build one right here and add a little bit more pipe to him, or we can do this. We're going to need some room for other productions fairly soon, but for now, we have fuel at least set up. We have our wastewater to be dumped, so we're going to make these guys a little bit less happy with us because now they're going to have landfill pollution and water pollution, but hey, at least it's kind of fun with the way that it works. Anyhow, we are started. We have a little bit more work to do, and well, hopefully we should be able to get someplace here in a little bit. So I'm gonna close all those out, or at least a little bit, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, we're just gonna kind of slowly knock this stuff out, enjoy it, have some fun, and well, I mean, hopefully get to building some trains sometime soon. Trains are quite a ways out as far as I know, at least wherever it goes. Train. They're past construction 3. So we've got a little ways to go. Not really, actually. That's just this whole next section. So it might be a couple episodes, but at least we'll be able to start messing around. Because we could theoretically be using them already to haul this from here over to there. So until then, I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.